Our next speaker is Raoul Schram of Utrecht University. His talk is entitled iBridges Shell Fast and Extensible.
Yes, thank you. Yes, I would like to just, of course, we already had a few talks about iBridges, but I would like to highlight one of the latest features. It has come in iBridges 1.5, which has just released I don't know, like a month or 1 or 2 months ago. And basically, the release 1.5 was mostly centered around the iBridges CLI because it became a little bit bloated and hard to maintain. So we had it completely refactored. And I would like to thank especially Maarten Schermer and Christine Steiger for checking the code that I wrote for the shell, because it was a big pain and there were many bugs in there. But I think for now we should be okay. So in this release, we had two more commands. So we have the shell command, which I will show off a little bit later. And now after a few of the releases, before the command line interface was maybe 20 or 30% of the API, and now it covers maybe 80% of the API. So it's a lot more feature complete now. Another goal of the refactoring was to make the command line interface a little more modular, so you can you can add more easily add new commands. And then also we allowed other external packages to provide their own commands. So you can now actually write your own iBridges subcommands if you want, and then you can just iBridges your new subcommand and then whatever arguments you want. On the right hand corner, there's an example. I will also show it how the example works. It's a working example of creating a plugin. The iBridges shell commands are basically the same as the command line commands. There's just the advantage of using a shell instead of a command line interface is that it will become much more responsive, because you can keep your session around. So you don't have to every time you do a iBridges command, you have to create your own new session. It's shorter because you don't have to type iBridges because you're already in the iBridges shell. And that was one of the things that our engineers were most excited about, is to have auto completion. Unfortunately, it's not for Windows because readline is not available there. But for Linux and Mac, that actually works. So I will just show you quickly how I'm just now on the command line. And you can see, for example, here with iBridges ls, you can, this is the old command line interface where you can just see what kind of files are there. And now we have a shell too, and then you get just a new prompt. And now instead of iBridges ls, you can type ls, and you can see that it's much faster. So let's say just the word count. And then, so the nice thing now is, of course, I can type word, and then you type tab, and then you actually get the whole thing. So the new plugin that I created was info, and it shows actually the host, the port, and the version. Of course, it's not a very big plugin in this case. And I also have a user flag that can also be set, and then we can see, hey, this is my home, this is a user, and this is the current collection. One of the nice things about the shell, the autocomplete, is also that you have you get the context. So if I tap now, then I get the local files. But if I do download, then I get the remote files. So I can actually download this one. That is basically it. You can, for example, with the question mark, you can see all the different commands that are there. They're basically the same as the command line interface, except, for example, the init is not there. The init, which normally would create a session and then test it. Of course, you already have a session, so you don't need to do that. And then, you can just quit. Maybe I can very quickly, I have a few more seconds left, show you actually how easy it is to create this plugin. So we have, you just basically have to create a class, a class that's based on the base CLI command. And then there's you basically have to say hey, how do you create so it's based on argparse, and then you have to basically create a parser, how you would normally create it. This is this method, and then you have to say how do you run it in the shell. You can also have like different implementation for running it in the shell and the command line. In this case, yeah, it's all the same. So it works then both for the command line interface and the shell at the same time. So yeah, that was basically it. Here you get like, if you want to know more about iBridges, you can look at this QR code or like see the plugin example, and you can look at the other one.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks. Do we have any questions from the audience? What was that? Not for Windows? Oh, how does this, so what does this mean for Windows? You have one of your items listed mentions that this is not for Windows. Is it coming later or just not implemented now?
I don't think we will implement it because so the auto-completion depends on the readline library, and I don't think there is a readline library for Windows. So unless we do a lot of work, then it's not going to happen. So I don't think for now it's going to be a thing. But of course you can still use the shell, but you just don't get the autocomplete with it. That's unfortunate.
Okay. All right. Thank you.